Okay, so we're on. So Baruch Hashem, we have today. Reuven has joined us with two new people. Baruch Hashem, with Yaakov and Daniel. Yaakov, you want to go ahead and just try to introduce yourself a little bit, and then I'll give the opportunity to Daniel.
Jack Mastreo, born and raised in New York. I live here in Miami, and the CEO of First Class Trucking.
Very nice. Let me ask you a question. What's your relation when it comes to religion?
I'm very spiritual. I've been raised in a Jewish household, and I do the best as I can during holidays and all other directions that we need to follow to be a good Jewish man.
From birth or no? Your parents are religious, or you guys?
No, my parents are not religious.
Okay, so you came to religion yourself?
Well, growing up in New York City, being around, the Baharian Jewish community, celebrating all the holidays and just being a part of that whole culture growing up, we're trying to pass that on to our kids as well.
Okay, very nice, very nice. Daniel, yourself?
Hi, my name is Daniel. I'm a CPA. I work with Reuben with his company and a number of other real estate companies in the New York area. I'm from Long Island originally. I was raised in a reform, spiritual Jewish household, and I kind of came more into religion over the years. Reuben has been so kind to open his home to me. One day I attended your shul for, I believe it was Rosh Hashanah, and I try to do the best I can during the holidays.
Very nice, very nice. Okay, very nice, beautiful, beautiful. All right, so as mentioned before, what we're going to do is I'm going to read one halakha. Then I'm just going to give outside one musar. If you guys have any questions, please feel free
Rabbi,
to ask.
can you just clarify what a halacha is and what a musar is?
Yes, of course. So halacha basically is the laws, right? We have to know certain laws that we have to do. Right? In the government world, you have laws. You have to follow the traffic line, the traffic lights, stop signs. If you don't do something, you get a penalty, ticket, points. So that's basically halacha. Halacha literally means the law, right? Like the lawyers, they have all these laws. When it comes to musar is more on working on oneself. And one of the things that, unfortunately, you might see in this generation, even though you could see people that are observant, but a lot of us, unfortunately, we don't have the proper character traits. And that, unfortunately, dissuades a lot of people from following in the ways of God. There's a Gemara Masechet Shabbat that says that if you have a Talmud Chacham that wears a shirt and has a stain on it, his punishment is Chayav Mita. Chayav Mita means that Hashem is going to basically give him the death penalty, if I could put it to you like that. So the question is why? What did he do? He's learning Torah, he's davening, he doesn't curse, he doesn't sleep with a woman. So what's the punishment? Why such a severe punishment? Tell me you eat on Yom Kippur, I understand. Tell me you sleep with a married woman, I understand. But what does a stain have to do with anything right now? So the Gemara goes on to explain, actually Rashi brings this down, which is a commentary on the Gemara, and Rashi says, Hashem says, because of you, Jewish people stay away from my Torah. So we have to be careful as Jews not to cause anything that's going to cause other people not to come close to Hashem. So that's why it's very important not only to learn Torah, but to also be refined. Yes, you guys are with me? Any questions?
Very clear, Rabbi.
Okay, fine. So one of the halachot we started to speak about, you guys were not here the other two classes we had, but you guys know in the Shulchan Aruch that there is a halacha that you have to wake up in the morning like a lion, but there's a catch with that. Not only waking up like a lion, which is that in itself is very hard to do, but you also have to wake up before dawn. Do you guys know what time that is today? I can't hear you. I cannot hear him.
So Jack, he lives in Florida. Daniel lives in Canada.
Okay, so Jack is in Florida. Oh, wow. Very nice. Jack, I didn't know what you said.
Actually, Reuben, when you visit, we actually done Netz before, and I think that was at the crack of dawn.
Exactly.
Okay, so Netz is sunrise. So Netz is sunrise. Before Netz, you have 72 minutes, which is dawn. So if we're looking at right now, if Netz today is about 5:33, 5:34, give me 72 minutes back. You look like around 4:13, somewhere around there. You have to already be up that early in the morning to show how much you want to serve God.
Wow, interesting.
The problem is, how many of us do that first halakha in the Shulchan Aruch?
Me personally, I don't. I'm new to, I would say, just on that spiritual growth journey.
Right, right. So just as a reminder, when we start learning with Reuven, you guys should know, whenever we learn halachot, it's not going to happen overnight. It's something that, it's a goal that a person has to live up to. At least you know that you want to try to do your best to wake up before dawn. We'll see today that there are exceptions why you're able to wake up after dawn, but the best way to serve Hashem is bright early in the morning. You want to wake up dawn and not have dawn wake you up.
A good way to look at it.
You know why? It shows a person how excited he is. I mean, how can I tell you? I've lived in a building in Briarwood, and I'll be very open with you. I used to go daven Netz of their Shabbat, so if it was like 4 o'clock in the morning, I would have to come out of my building. You would have non-Jewish girls that were just walking in. Where do you think they were coming from? Clubbing. I said to myself that, wow, this is unbelievable. I'm sleeping while they're having a good time. Yeah, you're right, they're going to sleep another 3 days after that. Doesn't matter. But look how excited they were to go ahead and have a good time. We have to have that sense of excitement when it comes to serving Hashem. Daniel, you with me, Daniel?
It's a very valid point.
Okay. So that's one of the things that we actually spoke about. But now today, Rav David Yosef Shlita, who's actually the chief rabbi now in Israel. You guys know Chacham Ovadia? You heard of Chacham Ovadia?
I haven't.
Okay, so Chacham Ovadia, Daniel, yourself? Okay. So Chacham Ovadia was one of the I'll put it to you in simple terms. If it wasn't for Chacham Ovadia, you wouldn't hear about a Sephardi nowadays. Chacham Ovadia made the Sephardic people who they are today. He's like the foundation. He's the pillar to what we have today. His son Rav David Yosef, we were in my cousin's house. There was about 7 guys over there where they needed funding. And he said that Rav David Yosef Shlita said that if it wasn't for my father, all of us today would follow the Ashkenazi custom. Everybody would follow Ashkenazi laws. Would you be happy with that?
Well, we have an Ashkenaz here, so I don't want to offend him.
No, Chas v'shalom. You know why? They're very Ashkenazim. They're very much ahead of us.
I have an opinion on it one way or the other, frankly. But
Go ahead. I want to hear Daniel. Tell me.
I was saying I don't really have an opinion one way or the other on this specific matter. On many things I do, but on this I don't have an opinion.
Okay, fine. Okay. So let's just do one halakha, and then I want to just say one ethical point. And Be'ezrat Hashem, if you guys have questions, ask. If not, that's where we're going to conclude it. He says over here, what happens if a person is not able to wake up before dawn? Is that the end of the world? No, it's not the end of the world.
No.
He says, you're able to sleep after that time, but there has to be reasons why you want to sleep after dawn. And one of the reasons, he says, is that you are afraid that if you're going to wake up so early, you're not going to be able to daven properly. Because what do you do? What's the point of waking up early to serve God? To be able to be fully awake. If you're not fully awake, don't wake up before dawn.
Well, it's not only about being fully awake, it's about being fully rested, right? If you're going to go to sleep at 11 or 12 and you're up at 4, it's a little challenging when you want to pray on 4 hours of sleep, opposed to going to sleep a little bit earlier and waking up at 4.
Correct. Yes. Correct. Exactly. But we were speaking with Reuven the other day in the other class about social media. And the honest truth is, the secret to waking up early is to being able to go to sleep early. And the problem is we can't go to sleep early It's one thing if you're learning Torah, but it's another thing if you're scrolling all day or all night, and if you pay attention, you go on the phone for 5 minutes, before you know it, 3 hours pass, you're like, well, how's it 2 o'clock in the morning already? Reuven, why are you laughing, Reuven?
We're all guilty of the same crime.
Yeah. Somehow, if you pay attention, somehow the wives always say you never have time, but somehow you have time for the phone. Okay, so basically, this is going to be, go ahead, what do you want to say?
I think it was background noise.
Okay, fine. So basically, we're going to see from over here that if you need that rest in order to be able to daven properly, Rav David Yosef says you are allowed to go ahead and wake up after dawn. But like we pointed out in the previous class, make sure not to miss the time when the congregation is davening. Now, it's very important to daven with the community. It's also important to listen. Bottom line is, it's important to daven. But if you could daven with the community, it's even better.
I actually liked what you said in the other class when you mentioned that, if you're praying and you're praying at home, try to pray at the same time as the shul is praying.
Correct, because that
really resonated with me.
Correct. Okay, fine, very well, because that's one of the ways we're able to say that your prayer goes up with the community.
Yes.
Okay, so now this is the halacha. He continues and he says over here, he says you should know. I'm going to read it in Hebrew. It sounds very nice in Hebrew. Like, if you want to be able to wake up in the morning, doesn't matter, before dawn, after dawn, but when it comes to davening, he says like this, V'yachshov b'libo, a person should consider or contemplate in his heart, meaning contemplate in your mind, Ilu haya davar ba'avodat melech basar v'dam. Had this been an appointment that you would have to go with a king who's flesh or blood, let's say you have to meet the president, Shitzivahu la'askim ba'boker la'avadutot, that he would command you to wake up early in the morning to serve him, Kama haya zahir la'asod mitzvoto, how much careful would you be to fulfill his command? True or not? Forget about the president. You are your boss. I know a lady that works 4 o'clock. She's an RN. She works in the dialysis center. She could go to sleep 1, 2 o'clock with all these Bukharian weddings and the bar mitzvahs that they do. You go to sleep late. She's out of the house by 4 o'clock. I asked her one time, how do you do it? She says, if I'm not at work by 4:30, the patient's life, they depend on me. Because she has to change their blood, chas v'shalom lo leinu. And she's doing it because okay, listen, it's one thing, yeah, she has to make sure that the patients are taken care of, but also it's her job. It's not even a president, nothing major. But look how careful she is. So he says over here, if that's how we're going to behave with the regular people, how much more so when Hashem says to do something, we have to try to be on top of it. Yes, you got it. You with me or no?
Oh, you are? I'm here.
Daniel? Any questions on that so far?
No.
Okay. I want to share with you, there's a very fascinating Gemara, Masechet Tanit, on page 21. That's Chav Aleph. Now, you know what's a Gemara, correct? You guys know Daniel, you know what's a Gemara? Yaakov?
Yeah.
So basically, this is a Gemara, right? All our laws come from the Talmud. So there's a Gemara, Masechet Tanit, in Daf Chav Aleph, Amur Aleph, which, shows the importance of how careful we have to be when it comes in lending a hand to another person. So there's a story with Nachum Ish Gamzu. You guys heard of Nachum Ish Gamzu?
I haven't, but I would like to hear it.
Okay, so he's a Tana in the Gemara. The reason why he's called Nachum Ish Gamzu, because he used to say, Gamzu letova. He had a saying that whatever Hashem does, he does for the best. There's no mistakes in Hashem's world. There's no happenstance. Everything is calculated by Hashem to the decimal point. There's no such a mistake. You can't have mistakes with Hashem. Put it to you like that. So that's why he was called Nachum Ish Gamzu, because he used to say Zo Gamzo, that this is also for good. Even if it was bad, he says, I will only see later that it's only good. I want to give you a story. There was a guy, he was davening by the Arna Kodesh. This is basically the Arna Kodesh, right, where the Sefer Torah is. So he was davening and he was crying to Hashem. He said, Hashem, please help me, please help me. So the rabbi from the synagogue, he walks in, he says, why are you crying so much? He says, listen, there's a girl in the community that I want to marry. And the family is not allowing me to marry her. So the rabbi said, maybe she's not the right one for you. Daven that Hashem should bless you with the right girl. Don't daven for this specific girl. He says, Rabbi, no, without her I cannot live. This is the one for me. Okay? So he sees him crying. He says, listen, if that's what you feel, that's what you think, I give you a blessing that you should get married to her. 6 months later, they get married. He doesn't see the guy ever again. 10 years later, he sees the guy crying by the Arna Kodesh again. So the rabbi says, I don't get it. You didn't get married still? He says, no, Rabbi, I got married. But now I'm praying to Hashem that she leave me alone. I can't put up with her no more. I want to divorce her. Yeah, again, we never know what's good, what's not good for us. We have to trust Hashem. So the story with Nachum Ish Gamzu goes like this. A very, very important lesson, especially when you're dealing with your wife and your children. I mean, this is applicable to everyone, but we're most around the wife and the children. A lot of us, unfortunately, do ignore them for, I don't know why, but it happens that we're always somehow busy. So Nachum Ish Gamzu one time was walking on the way, and there was a person that hadn't eaten for a long time. So he told Nachum Ish Gamzu, please give me something to eat. And he had a lot of camels with food and water. He had a lot of food with him. So he said, give me one moment. Let me come off the donkey, and I'll take care of you. Until he came off the donkey to go get him food, he looks around, he sees the guy died. He didn't make it. How they say the camel that broke the straw that broke the camel's back, he didn't make it. So what did Nachum Ish Gamzu say? Nachum Ish Gamzu felt so bad, he felt so guilty. He said, the eyes that did not have mercy on you, may you, Hashem, take them away. He became blind. May the hands that were not quick enough to feed you, may you, Hashem, chas v'shalom, cut them off. He lost both of his hands. May the legs that were slow in coming off the camel, of the donkey, may they also be cut off. So chas v'shalom, he became paralyzed. Automatically, he lost everything. And that was not enough. Jigari, you know what he prayed for? May his whole body be full of boils. So that's a Gemara. It's not something like, we're not exaggerating, that this has really happened. You see from over here what it means to make sure that you give in this particular case, he died physically. But a lot of times as parents or as friends or acquaintances or even bosses, when we have somebody that comes up to us and asks us for help, don't brush them off. You never know. Yeah, they might not die physically, but you never know. You might be that person that can save them.
But Rabbi, everyone that comes up to me specifically for help is always financially. They can never say, oh, can you help me go to the gym, or can you help me, do other things, or help me get a bigger office or something. It's always a financial thing.
And that, by the way, is a very big blessing. That means Hashem entrusted you with the money to make sure that you are going to be able to give it out properly. I'll tell you something with the rich people. You should understand. There's a beautiful Gemara. The whole reason. What? Let me ask you a question. Is it hard for Hashem to make everybody in the world that they should have money? Is it hard for Hashem to make everybody billionaires? Why do you have to give one guy more money than the other? Make them equal. Let them both make $500,000 a year. They live a good lifestyle. Why does Hashem have to make poor people? So the answer is Hashem wanted to give the rich the merit to be able to give tzedakah. It's a blessing to give.
Amazing.
You understand? Hashem, I couldn't, but I want you to be my messenger, Hashem says. And on the contrary,
That's beautiful.
The honest truth is we think when we give money, we're doing them a favor. The honest truth, they're doing us. Because with that mitzvah, you just acquired yourself olam haba. You got to get with me or not?
I love it.
All right, so Rabotai, it's one of the things that we have to try to be careful with our midot is that, and I'll tell you something, in general, I deal with couples, unfortunately, in this basement. It's my basement, actually. And, you have a guy, he comes here with his wife, and the second she opens her mouth, he doesn't want to listen to her. Don't listen to what she has to say. Again, she should also listen to what the husband has to say. But Daniel, the honest truth is, the Gemara says that, that 10 speeches came down to the world, 10. 9 the woman took, you know that? 90% of speech the woman took. 10% of speech only men took. 1%. That means they need to speak. If chas v'shalom we're not there for them listening, we got a big problem. So that's very important. Always keep an opening ear, whether it's going to be financially, whether, you just have to maybe give a good advice, maybe just be there for that person. I want to conclude with this story. It's a real story. There was one boy, he was in yeshiva, and it was like, he was not doing, they wanted to expel him. So everybody said he has no future, nothing. But they thought he's going to be a bum. After 15 years, they see he became a very big Talmud Chacham and got married, kids. Nobody understood, how did he change? Nobody spoke to him. What happened? You ready for this, Reuven? He said that as he was walking in the hallway to another class, there was a rabbi that was coming towards him. And when the rabbi looked at him, he looked down because he was going to get kicked out of school. The rabbi said to him, listen, I have faith in you. You could become better than what you are now. That's all he said. That student said, that one line changed my life. Somebody believed in me. That was enough for me to change my life. It's all in the words. They say stick and stone may break your bones, but words will never hurt you. That's not true. In the Jewish was just the other way around. Stick and stone, they might break your bone, but that's going to be rehealed. But words, once you say something to somebody and you penetrate them, you can't repair that. I don't know if you guys are married, but if you say something to your wife that's 30 years ago, she'll remind you after 60 years. Don't worry, she ain't forgetting nothing. All right, if you guys have any questions, I'll answer. If not, I hope you guys enjoyed the class.
Oh, it's very powerful. They also have a saying. They say, "Ni делай добро, не получишь зло." Like, you don't do something good and you won't get...
Right, correct. You won't get nothing bad. Right.
Yeah.
Daniel, you good there, Daniel? Go ahead.
I'm definitely a satisfied customer, and I look forward to tomorrow, 5 o'clock.
Tomorrow's Shabbos?
But Shabbat comes in 7:30.
Right.
Here the sun goes down a little bit later.
Right. So Erev Shabbat is a little bit out of the schedule, only because you're running around. That's the time when you got to help the wife, the kids. You're going to spend some time with them. So we start Monday to Thursday, so not to interfere. Sunday is out of the question. Sunday is shopping day. The wife wants to go here.
Beautiful.
Again, I want to tell you something. When it says with Avram Avinu, when he was going to do Akedah Discha, when he was going to go slaughter his son said, Abba, he says, his son said to Abraham, the name. So he said, Vayomer, he answered, he said, I'm here. Why did Abraham Reuven have to say, I am here? Of course, I know you're here. Because Abraham was on such a lofty level that Yitzchak was afraid, maybe he really forgot about me. Maybe he's going to go Chashem, do something that is not according to the Torah. So Abraham said, even though my head is in the heaven, still I'm here down. I know what I'm doing. So a lot of times when a person becomes close to Hashem, he shouldn't forget about his wife, his children. I know a lot of unfortunate people, when they become religious, which is nice, but you can't just, you become religious and forget about your wife and your kid. That you cannot do. You still have to be grounded on the land. Your wife needs a vacation, you take a vacation. Your kids need to go out on a restaurant. They need to play ball, you play ball. You can't cut them out. And a lot of times people do it, and that's why the divorce rate is very high.
Yeah. It sounds like stand on business in English.
Stand on business. I don't know what that means, but you want to tell me what that stand on business? What does that mean?
The husband needs to stand on business, family first.
Okay, fine. Very well, very well. Reuven, I think you're very quiet today, Reuven.
Rabbi, I'm so happy that this is happening, especially with Jack and Daniel being here. This is amazing. Jack, Daniel, please invite other people. We were supposed to have, surprisingly, 10 people join today. Hopefully, I'll call them after this and I'll convince them that they have to join on Monday.
There's nothing to convince, Ruben. I think by Monday we should have a good 50 to 100 people on this chat.
Share it with your friends. Jack, share it with your friends. Daniel, you do the same.
Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
No problem,
Rabbi, thank you so much. Very powerful.
No problem, guys. Enjoy.
Have a great weekend.
You too, guys. Enjoy.
I'll spread the word.
Take care, Ruben.
No problem, Daniel. Nice to see you guys. Nice to meet you, Yaakov and Daniel. Ruben, John, thank you so much. May Hashem bless you guys with much more money, with a lot of, Hashem, it says, Ad Belidai. Hashem should bless you guys with so much money until your lips get tired from saying enough. You guys should always be on the giving end and never chas v'shalom on the taking end.
Amen. Thank you so much for your time.
Jigari, don't forget the rabbi, Jigari.
I love you, Rabbi.
I love you. I'm messing with you. I'll see you guys. Have a good one. Daniel, have a good one. Have a good Shabbos.
You too. Bye.
I'll see you guys.
I know.
I'll call you, Jackie. I'll call you. Oh, look, Rabbi. Someone is joining in, Rabbi.
Who is that? Avi.
And